Hey guys, welcome to Belly Strong. Today we're going to be talking about breathing, which is something really important but sometimes boring to talk about, but it has a big effect on pregnancy and just life in general. If you've been following along with our videos, thanks for coming this far. If you're new and this is one of the first videos you're watching, I'd encourage you to subscribe so you know when future videos are coming out. So back to the breathing. Breathing, it's how we get oxygen and the energy we need to live, and it affects so many body systems. It seems to be intuitive, but some people just really struggle to breathe. This can have an effect on stress, with shallow breathing causing stress, or even vice versa, stress causing shallow breathing. It can have negative effects on the immune system and even contribute to things like high blood pressure and pain. So just a few points before we get into the technique aspects. Find somewhere comfy to sit. Upright is better because lung function is better when you're upright as opposed to when you're lying. You can lean back against something slightly like a chair or a wall, but make sure that you're in a comfortable position and somewhere quiet where you can really focus and relax. For any breathing that you do, you really want to focus on breathing through the bases of the lungs. So many people breathe up here, which leads to very shallow breathing, not getting as much oxygen as we could if we're breathing down into the bases of the lungs. And breathing up here also causes a lot of tension in the shoulders and the neck, which can contribute to issues like headaches, neck pain, shoulder pain, or even neural pain down into the hands. For our breathing techniques today, we're going to focus on breathing in and out through the nose, which has a few benefits compared to breathing in and out through the mouth. When we breathe in through the nose, the air is filtered, it's warmer when it hits the lungs, and the air also stays in the lungs for longer, which means more time for gaseous exchange. So mouth breathing may stimulate more of a fight response. So if you think about an example, if you're exercising really hard, you're huffing and puffing and sweating, your heart's beating hard and you're breathing faster, generally through the mouth to get more air in, that is a heightened response. And for our breathing today, we want the opposite of that. So we'll focus on breathing in and out through the nose. So we'll start with something called thoracic breathing. And this is breathing into the bases of the lungs, as I mentioned before. So what you can do to start with is just place your hands on either side of your chest, relaxing the shoulders. And as you inhale, you want to think about pushing into your hands and breathing out into the sides of your rib cage. So in and out, all through the nose. You can also do this with a band or a towel to help with feedback. So I've got my trusty pillowcase, which is great for a workout too. You just hold that around the base of your chest. A little bit of tension, not a lot because you don't want to restrict your breathing, but as you inhale, you're trying to push out into that band or into that towel. And this can really help you get the hang of the thoracic breath. And this is also a really good breathing technique for when you're doing exercise, any core work, and you don't want the stomach moving in and out a lot with diaphragmatic breathing, but you want to keep that abdominal tension and bracing. You can then brace, but still breathe in and out through the sides as you maintain that abdominal tension. And when we're doing a relaxed breathing exercise or technique, and we're not worried about abdominal tension at all, you can let that belly go. So you breathe in, letting the chest expand, letting the belly expand. And imagine the bases of your lungs or the base of your chest expanding in a 360-degree direction. So not only do we want our lungs to expand out and sideways, but also back and forward, all at the bases while we relax the neck and the shoulders, not breathing up here. So those are the points that you want to focus on when breathing. So let's just do one breath before we add another point to think about. Leaning back if you want to, relax the shoulders, inhale through the nose, push out through the chest, the back, the sides, let the belly relax as you fill the lungs, and you breathe slowly out through the nose. Okay, so now there's another thing to think about, and that is the pelvic floor. So breathing like this is also really great in preparation for labor, because during labor you don't want a super tight pelvic floor, you want a relaxed pelvic floor that is easy for the baby to come out of. And sometimes if we overdo the Kegels without focusing on some relaxation techniques, that pelvic floor can end up getting too tight. So with all the points that we've covered up until now, you'll still do the same things, but as you inhale, you'll relax the stomach. And I also want you to think about relaxing the pelvic floor. So not holding it tight, not trying to keep any tension there. You're not holding any wee in. You're relaxing everything down there, letting the urethra, the vagina, the rectum, everything down there relax as you inhale and exhale through the nose. And as you exhale, you're still keeping it relaxed. You're not contracting as you exhale at all. Everything remains relaxed. So if we cover all those points again, it's an inhale. Lungs expand 360 degrees. You relax those shoulders. You relax that pelvic floor. And then you slowly exhale through the nose. So it might take a bit of time to focus on all of those without really needing to focus on them. So you can focus on relaxing instead. But once you do, you can do this just once a day, 10 breaths. If you can start with that, that is going to help relax the pelvic floor, help with stress levels, help relax the upper part of the body that tends to hold on to a lot of tension, and just assist in getting more energy and more oxygen into you for daily life and for your growing baby. The more relaxed you are going into labor, hopefully the easier labor and delivery will be. So maybe as you go through the next week, try to practice this as you're watching TV or sitting working at your desk. If you battle to find time to set aside and do this during the day, anything and everything will help. I really can't underestimate the importance of breathing, because it underscores literally everything that we do. And if you can nail that breathing, that thoracic breathing, while also keeping that abdominal tension, that's also going to help with the workouts that you're doing with Belly Strong too. So that's it for breathing today. Have a look at some of our other videos which answer a few other questions about pregnancy and the conditions that tend to crop up. Subscribe and join the community if you haven't already, and I will see you next week again.